the main concern or the focus has been uh, on uh, on the virus, on the coronavirus, and that's pretty much taking a lot of our time. But there's other things going on that are also very important, and one of those things is the census count. We just received some numbers this week as to where we're at, and Starr County, unfortunately, we're lagging behind in this count. Starr County is around a 25% uh, respond rate, while the rest of the state of Texas is at 47%, and the country is at 51. So the valley itself runs around 33%. So we're behind uh, our neighbors. So this is of great concern. The reason being that a lot of things hinge on us getting the numbers as close to accurate or as accurate as we can on the census, and that's why we're doing this, just to bring awareness to our people that you must answer the census. There's a lot of writing on this numbers. Uh, for example, and I guess one of the most important things is the money that comes in from our federal monies and state monies. For every person that is not counted, we lose out on approximately $1,600 per year for the next 10 years. So if you take that and if we leave out 100 people that don't get counted, that's a million, $1.6 million that Starr County would be losing out on. We leave 1,000 people out, which last census there were several thousand of people that did not get counted. Maybe 10,000 people did not get counted. But in 1,000 people, that's $16 million that this county is losing, that our people are losing. And like the Bishop Flores said, it's not only us that are losing out, it's also children that will be born during the next 10 years. They will not have the maximum service as far as health services, schools, and everything else, because we're losing out on all this money. So I cannot overemphasize how important it is that we answer this census. Representative Guillen, you want to add something?
Yeah, well, first of all, thank you, Judge, for inviting me to participate in this virtual uh, town hall, virtual get together, or whatever you want to call it, to discuss uh, and to impress upon everyone just how important it is that every household respond and be counted during the census. Um, I want to point out that it's only every household. So not every person has to do it. Just one person per household needs to do it. The census is one of the most important things that we do at the start of each decade, and it's integral in securing the future of our nation and of our democracy. Ever since the first census was held in 1790, 230 years ago, it has provided the framework for our representation in Congress and in the state legislature through redistricting. There are 535 seats in Congress, 435 in the House, and 100 in the Senate. Of those seats, all of those in the House are decided by population of each state. Before the last census in 2010, the state of Texas had 32 seats in total in the House in DC. And after the state gained, and after 2010, we gained 4 seats. It was the largest gain of any state at the time. And so now we have 36 seats. Depending on how much we grow, and really depending on how many are counted in Texas and in the rest of the states, hopefully we can gain at least another 2 or 3. And that means a great deal for Texas and for each county in Texas when you've got more the share of representatives in Congress. This census is expected to be even more important to the state of Texas than the last, as Texas is supposed to be one of the fastest growing states in the country and is home to 6 of the 10 fastest growing counties in the country. But again, if folks don't get counted, then the ratings could say all they want, but what matters is how many get counted. Of course, this means that Texas is expected to represent an even larger chunk of representatives in Congress, and that will help our state secure more funding for schools, for law enforcement, for healthcare, hospitals, and other assistance programs. A recent study found that over the last census, over 300 federal programs and over 800 billion per year that was allocated was based on statistics derived from the census. Another reason why the census is important is determining your representation in the state legislature. Right now, there are 181 seats in the Texas legislature, 31 in the Senate, and 150 in the House, for a total of 181. And all of them are determined by the population counts from this census. This is where it gets extremely important for rural areas to respond to the census, as to ensure that they receive their equal share of state funding, and to ensure that they have more representation in the state legislature. I want to stress to everyone how important it is that they be counted, and want to stress that you must respond either by doing it online, by mail, or by phone in order to be counted. To respond by mail, and I have one of the ones that comes by mail right here, and it looks like this, and it comes with an envelope like this, and it probably arrived about a month and a half ago, and just so you can see, it looks a little thick, but half of it is in Spanish, half is in English, and so you only need to pick one or the other. And there are a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 10 questions. 10 questions on about 4 pages. And that's what that is. This is the envelope. You put it back in and send it. And you don't have to pay postage. The postage, it's already paid for. And it only takes a few minutes. If you're going to do it online, you go to my2020census.gov. It says it right here. my2020census.gov. And when you're on this that you received in the mail, you've got a little code right here. And I highlighted it in orange right there. That little code is the one you put in when you do it online. You'll have to add a code. If you don't have, let's say you lost this thing, and you don't have a code, all you need to do is there's a button you click, and you give them some information, and then you'll circumvent the code, and you can still fill it out. There's also a 1-800 number, and the 1-800 number is 844-330-2020 for English, and 844-468-2020 for Spanish. Again, to respond online, you can go to my2020census.gov, and from there you click on respond, select your preferred language, and then click start the questionnaire. From there, you'll need to enter the 12-digit code, and if not, you'll need to click on the don't have a code link and fill out your information to proceed to finish the questionnaire. To respond over the phone, you call those numbers, 1-800 or 1-844-330-2020 or 1-844-468-2020 for Spanish. And You can call between 7 a.m. and 2 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, 7 days a week, in English and in Spanish. One important point is that it's wrong to assume that you'll be counted if you receive something in the mail from the census. The way that the federal government has designed the census and the census taking to take place, that you will only be counted if you actually respond. And so I think a lot of people have the impression that, well, if they knew to send this thing to me, or, you know, I live in a neighborhood, they know I'm here. Well, yeah, they might know you're here. They might know you're there, and they might have known to send this to you. But the way the process works is you will not be counted unless you respond, unless somebody in your household responds. And so it's very, very important that you respond because that's the way the process works. And it's very important to your community and to your family. A recent study of the last census, and the judge mentioned it, showed that Texas missed out on about $1,600 per person that was not counted. So every person that was not counted, that was $1,600 that the community lost. And it's just, again, we've got a little time. You've got just a couple more months to get this done. The dates are changing because of this crisis that we're in, but you still have time. You still have time to do it. It'll only take a few minutes, and it's really, really important. Our rates, as the judge was mentioning, are down across South Texas, across every county. I mean, I think I was looking at the list of my counties that I represent, and they range from roughly about, I mean, we've got some at 2% and some at 30%. And so that's very, very low regardless. And 30%, 2% is terrible. 30% is very, very terrible. I mean, the other way, 2% is very terrible, and 30% is still not enough. We're hoping to at least get to about the 80 percentile before this thing is over, and then, you know, come up with other ways to get people counted. But please take the responsibility, take this opportunity to do it. You can do it online, on the phone, or by mail. It's really important. It'll only take a few minutes. Only one person in the household has to do it. And if you have any questions about it, call one of us. Call the judge's office, call my office, 956-716-4838 or 512-463-0416. Those are my numbers. Or shoot us an email, whatever it is, you know, contact us on social media. We'll answer your questions. We'll help you through it. It's really important. Please do it.
Thank you so much, Representative. Just for a little humor, I'm glad you chose orange to highlight that code. Anyhow,
they don't make very many maroon highlighters. You
know. One of the things also that has been questioned a lot is who gets a hold of this information. Does immigration, does Border Patrol get it? They don't. All this information is strictly for the census that is done by the Department of Commerce. And it's only for their use. They cannot share it with any other agency. So believe me, you have nothing to fear as far as that is concerned. We want every single person counted, whether you're 120 years old or you're 2 hours just born. Everyone needs to be counted. Now, why Department of Commerce? These numbers are also used to bring in businesses into our community. When someone is looking as to possibly moving some business or industry into South Texas or into our community, they go and they look at these numbers to see what our labor force looks like. And if our numbers are low, they're not going to come over here because they feel we don't have the workforce. So, there's a lot of things riding on this census. Uh, Again, as Representative Guillen said, we cannot overemphasize how important this is. And once we do it, that's it. We cannot go in next year and try and amend it or try and correct it. It's set for 10 years. So if we mess up now, we have to live with it. And our children, our grandchildren, and children that are not even born have to live with it for the next 10 years. So it's not fair to them. It's not fair to our elderly. It's not fair for anyone that uses medical, schools, roads. I mean, everything hinges on the census. So please, please answer it. If you have any questions or you need any help, as Representative Guillen said, call us. We have people that are working on this that can help you. Uh, but the important thing is to answer the census.
The judge, the one more point. It seems I've looked at those numbers so far, and it looks like the more urban areas have better percentages versus the rural areas. And again, that's another reason why rural Texas can be left behind. If we get undercounted compared to urban areas, we get left behind. So far, if you look at it just based on how many have been counted so far, we're being left behind. And so that's why we're emphasizing that we've got to get this done. A lot of folks are at home right now and have a little bit more time, maybe not that much, but a little bit more time on their hands. Some do, some don't. Some have their hands full. But this is the perfect time to do it. I've already done mine. I got it behind me. I'm calling my family and friends, reminding them, please don't forget to do this. And I encourage y'all to do the same.
Yeah, one other thing, Representative, that came to mind when you were speaking, the people that have PO box numbers will probably not be getting anything in the mail because these are not for PO box. However, you can go do it like Ryan said, on your phone, a laptop. I mean, there's so many ways of doing it where you don't actually need the mail. But if you're waiting for the mail, that will be probably coming in around June. So whenever you get it, respond. The thing is to respond to the census. Representative, I don't know if you have anything else to add.
Well, I just kind of reiterate something that I said before. The fact that, I think the perception is that they know that we're here. That you either work somewhere or you get some kind of benefit or you pay your taxes. You send your check to the IRS. You deal with the government on so many things. You buy your license plates for your car. You get a driver's license. You got all these things that make one assume that the government knows that I'm here. Well, they know you're there, but the way this process works, the way they've laid this process out, you don't count unless you respond in this manner only. And so that's why there's no way around it at this point. And so I ask you to please respond. Go to my2020census.gov, respond on the mail, go to the 1844 hotlines. It's really easy and it's really important. And if I can help, let me know.
Thank you so much, Representative. And again, our phone number here at the annex is 956-716-4800. Any questions that you have, please call us. We'll be more than happy to help in any way we can.
And you can reach me on that line too, by the way. You just ask for me.
Yeah, that's a magical number.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we hope to hear from y'all and hope to see our numbers improve over the next couple of weeks. Thank you all so much for joining us, and have a good evening.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you.